Hi, this is Scott with eTrailer. Today we're taking a look at and installing our Redarc Tow Pro Liberty on our 2024 Subaru Ascent. Our Redarc Liberty we have in our Subaru today is a really good option for people looking to get a trailer brake set up. This one's going to be really nice because it kind of tucks away here in our panel. We had a blank that was here and we were able to mount our switch right here out of the way. Unlike your traditional brake controllers that mount here under your dash, a lot of these newer vehicles are getting really hard to find a place to mount that style of brake controller. So Redarc is a really good way to get everything tucked up out of the way. The only thing you're going to see is just your button. Your control box and everything is stuffed up under and hidden under your dash away. And this is going to allow you to have everything you need to do for your brake controller right here at your fingertips. It's going to allow you to have your brake controller set at 0, or you can turn your knob up to the intensity that you want your brakes to respond when you touch your brake pedal. After you get your brake controller all plugged in and set up, this one's going to calibrate itself, so when you're driving, it's going to automatically sense where the position of the box is, and it's going to calibrate itself. Another way you can do that is you can plug in your trailer and drive it around for a little bit, and that's going to set itself that way as well if you want to do it a little bit faster. One of the things I like about this one is its ease of use. You don't have a bunch of extra switches or on switches or anything like that. Everything's just right here at your fingertips. So say you want to stop your trailer or add a little more force to your trailer, going down a big hill or something, all you have to do is just give this a push, and that's going to activate your brakes back there. Now these are going to act proportional to the brakes with your vehicle. So when you push your brakes, it's going to apply the same pressure to your trailer in the rear of what you have your dial set at. So it's not just going to be braking too hard when you don't want it to. It's going to act the same amount that you push your brakes. So if you come up to a stop sign, you're just easing on your brakes, it's going to do the same thing with your trailer. Now, if you really have to stomp on your brakes and get it to stop, it's going to do the same thing back there on your trailer. Now, as far as installation, if your Subaru has the factory tow option already set up in it, it's really pretty simple to do. It's all plug and play. So if it's something you really don't have time to do yourself, you could take a look at our dealer locator and get something done for you locally. Or if you feel like doing it yourself, stick around, watch our video, and we'll help you get it installed. To start our installation, if your Subaru has the factory towing option with it, it probably has the wiring for your brake controller already installed. So we're going to need to find that. So what we're going to do is we're going to pop off our threshold here. So all we're going to do is pull up on the back of it and just work our way along and just pop that loose. And what that's going to do is allow us to get in behind our kick panel. Now, for taking our kick panel out, there's going to be a little plastic nut. We're just going to unscrew that. And that is basically right down here on our floor. Now with that removed, we can pull back on our panel and pull both our threshold and our kick panel back out of the way. Now we're going to be feeling right behind one of our main harnesses. This one's going to have a little bit of pink tape on it. You're going to have two different plugs up here. One of them is going to have a plastic cap on it. But this other one that is open is going to be the one for our harness. So what we've got is we have our plug-in from Kurt, and what this is going to do is adapt us to where we can plug in our brake controller. Now this is going to work directly with a Kurt brake controller, or this is also going to allow us to double up our harnesses where we can adapt to our Redarc. So what I need to do is just plug this in. This can be a little tricky because these are tucked back in there pretty well. So if you can get it to line up. Now what I ended up doing is I got it to line up and I grabbed the back of the existing plug and I kind of did this with it and clicked it together like that. That allowed me to get a good audible click and made sure it was locked into place. Now we have our wiring harness out and we can start connecting to this. Now we have our Redarc adapter that's going to plug into this end. We have this little green tab. We want to pop that out. That's going to allow us to click this into place. Just kind of push down and you'll hear it click. Make sure you have a good connection. Now we'll take our little green tab and push that back in place. That's going to lock our connection together. The next part is we need to find a good place to put our button. So we found a blank spot on our control panel right here. So what I'm going to do is just get a plastic tool in and unleash the clips and push that out. This can be a little tricky sometimes, so just take your time. And with that clicks out, all it does is just bounce in with these little tabs on each end, and that's what holds it in place. Now this is going to give us a really good location to mount our button and our switch for our Redarc controller. We have plenty of room behind the dash and we have plenty of room to mount our button. So what I decided to do is we have our universal holder here. This is what's going to hold our switch and button setup. So this is just going to pop right in place and replace the plug that we just took out. Now on our universal switch mount, we ended up having to trim a little bit off the ends of these tabs that click in place. On both of these, we had to trim a little bit of that out. And then we had to burr bit just a little bit of the plastic to thin this towards the ends. What was happening is we had our switch that was coming up and it wasn't coming in far enough to make contact with our threads that go through here. So we had to thin that out a little bit, but now we're able to pop this in and we'll be able to get our switch in place. Now we'll take our universal switch holder, get that popped in place. We have a nice click. Feels good. Now we'll take our switch, make sure we line up our hole with the LED module. Push that in place. Now we can take our nut, get that run onto our switch. Just kind of push it forward, get it to bite. Now when we tighten these, we don't want to get really crazy tightening it. We just want to get it a little bit snug. What I'll usually do is just take a socket and just kind of give it a little snug, and then we'll call that good. We don't want to break our plastic housing for our switch behind there. Just take a socket with no ratchet on it and just snug up that nut just a little bit. You just want it snug. You don't have to get crazy tight with it. Now we can get our knob installed. We just want to take this little dial and back this all the way off counterclockwise. Then we'll find the 0 on our knob itself. And now we can get that set in place. Now we have everything figured out where our button is and we've got it set up. All we have to do now is we'll plug in our box with both of our connections. And we have our latch side and our latch side. Click those together. Now the nice thing about this setup is we don't have to worry about finding our brake switch. So we don't have to worry about getting a signal from the brake pedal at all. With this factory setup, that's already ready to go for you, so that's nothing to worry about. This really simplifies installation of this brake control system. Now we just need to find a good place to mount our box. So what I did is I looked up under here, and you want it kind of be out of the way. I found a spot under here where there's another little box that's kind of almost the same shape. So what I'm going to do is just mount up to that and then zip tie around it, around the whole housing. all the way around this and to the existing part under there. Then I'll just tuck all my wires up and tie them up out of the way. Now you can see where we mounted our box with our 2 zip ties. We just strapped off to the existing box that's up in there. And we were able to tuck all of our wires back in, out of the way. And now we can get our kick panel put back in place. And that was a look at our Redarc Tow Pro Liberty for 2024 Subaru Ascent. I'm Scott with eTrailer, and thanks for watching.